never going back. That's right what I said. I ain't never going back. You hear that, Dunlop? I ain't never gonna go back.
Goldwing Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs. What's up, YouTube? Your boy Chris, out on the Goldwing. And today is Wednesday, January the 16th, 2019. We're already a half a month into the new year, and that just goes to show you how fast time is really going by. It's going by so fast. Already a half a month into the new year already, of this 2019. So I just like to wish everybody out there a happy and a wonderful new year, and I hope you guys fulfill all of your New Year's resolution. First of all, I like to congratulate myself for putting out over 700 YouTube videos. 700 YouTube videos. Wow, nearly 8,000 subscribers. Wow, it seemed like it was just yesterday when I put up my first vid. Now I've put out over 700 YouTube videos. You know, I was lying in bed this morning and got a phone call from my brother from another mother, Big Ben Green out in New York. And he called me this morning. He said, Chris, I'd just like to call and congratulate you, man, for putting out over 700 videos. I see you've been real busy. And I just thank Big Ben out of New York for calling me this morning and congratulating me for putting out over 700 videos, reaching nearly 8,000 subscribers. I appreciate you there, Big Ben. Hello to you and Iris up in New York. Congratulations. Well, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and make this my final Darkside review. I've been telling you guys for a while that I'm going to give you my final thoughts on Darkside. And so this is going to be my final review. No need to putting it off. I think I've ran my test long enough. That's one of the reasons why it took me a while to actually give you guys my final thoughts, is that I wanted to give you my honest opinion. I wanted to test the tire out for a good amount of time. I didn't want to just give you my first impressions too quickly. So I've been riding on this Bridgestone Drive Guard for about 6 months now. And here is my final thoughts. Well, before I give you my final thoughts, let's just go into what is darksiding. Darksiding is when you take a car tire and put it on the back of your motorcycle. What is double darksiding? Double darksiding is when you take the largest rear motorcycle tire and put it on the front of your motorcycle, and they call it double darksided. So I'm double darksided. I've been double darksided for a half a year now, and I just wanted to come out today and just kind of tell you guys what I honestly think about it. And I know for some of you, I know how you feel about it. You guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know I used to talk about how much I wouldn't darkside. At the time, I didn't think it was a good idea. And to be honest with you, I had never tested it out before. It just didn't seem like a good idea to take a car tire and put it on the back of a motorcycle. So if you guys watch my earlier videos from months prior, maybe a year back or so, you guys heard me talk about that I wouldn't do it. The way I ride, I do a lot of miles. I go through a set of tires easily in about a year. Every year I find myself putting on a new set of tires. I started out with those Bridgestones. I think it's the G709 or the G409, something like that. Whatever comes standard on the Goldwing when you buy. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on those Bridgestones. I even tried out the Dunlap E4s. Went through a couple set of the Dunlap E4s. And one thing about these motorcycle tires is they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. I come to find out that motorcycle tires just don't last long. I mean, 1 year at a time, depending on how you ride. Some of you weekend warriors, you may can get by, you know, every 2 to 3 years. But for a guy that's really riding, he can easily go through a set of tires in 1 year, easily. And as you know, those tires are not cheap to be putting on motorcycle tires every year. And so my first thoughts was that I wouldn't do it. It was something that I wasn't interested in. But I think the straw that broke the camel's back is that I had just put on a brand new set of Dunlap E4s. I was feeling good about my bike. And within a few 100 miles, I picked up some metal. And you know, the motorcycle tires have that soft compound. The compound is soft. And I picked up a flat piece of metal, and it actually put a gash into my tire, I guess about 1 inch long. You probably seen the video where I pulled the metal out of my tire after doing an inspection. And I wasn't sure on how much that metal actually pushed through the tire, but that was a turnoff. I mean, I had just bought those Dunlap E4s and put that gash in my tire, which could happen. You know, you out here, you can easily pick up a nail of tire. You could pick up a nail or a tack or something like that. You know, that's not uncommon. You know, that can happen. I was talking to my good friend, JC, out in Bald Knob. What's going on, JC? Shouts out to you, my brother. JC had been telling me for a long time. He said, Chris, man, you need to try it. You need to try the Darkside. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, JC. And JC constantly said, Chris, you need to try it. You're the perfect candidate. You drive a big, heavy Goldwing. You pull a trailer. You log a lot of miles. You are the perfect candidate to test the Darkside, to try it out. He said some of these guys out here that rides on the weekend, they don't do a lot of riding. Darkside, it may not be a good idea for them. He said, but Chris, you're the perfect candidate. So I let my good friend JC talk me into buying a car tire. I put on the Bridgestone Drive Guard 195/55/16. 195/55/16. I put it on the rear. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I first put it on my bike, it really felt strange. It felt different. I wasn't used to that feeling, because when you go to a car tire, the bike kind of sits up a little bit. And I was just used to that motorcycle tire. And JC said, Chris, just stick with it. It's going to seem funny at first, just stick with it. And I did. I stuck with it. And he went on to tell me, he said, Chris, since you put the car tire on the back, you might as well double Darkside the bike as well. Go ahead and put that BT45 on the front. So I took JC's advice. I put the BT45 on the front. To make a long story short, I rode around like that for a few hundred miles. It just felt different. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about it. But I stuck with it. I stuck with it. And after a while, I guess after several hundred miles, when I wore the newness off, I'm going to be honest with you, I cannot tell the difference between the motorcycle tires and the car tire. I cannot tell the difference. I know a lot of you guys have tons of questions. I get a lot of questions. One of the biggest questions I get is, what about cornering? How does it feel in the cornering? Again, when you first put on a car tire and Darkside, it's going to feel differently. Cornering is going to feel, you're going to feel a little resistance because the tire is new and you're not used to that feeling. So it's going to feel different, but just stick with it. If you remember out the Wingding, or while I was up doing Wingding, I even went up to the tail of the dragon. You guys saw my vid. If you didn't, watch that video of me riding the tail of the dragon with the car tire. I had absolutely no problems at all. It corners just like a regular motorcycle tire. I know some of you guys were worried about the bike rolling up on the sidewall. You're not going to lean your bike that far. Before it rolls up on the sidewall, you're going to be down on the engine guards. So you're not going to lean your bike over to that much of an angle that you're going to get on the sidewall. So you don't have to worry about that. But while I rode the tail of the Dragon, it cornered good. I was scraping floorboards. I mean, it was no difference. You couldn't even tell the difference of how it felt from a motorcycle tire and a car tire. If you hadn't seen that video, check it out. Some of you even asked me, how does it handle in the rain? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been out in the rain several times with the car tire, and I cannot tell the difference. One of the things that I could tell the difference that the first time I got caught out in the rain, I had my trailer hooked up and I was riding, and it was raining, of course, and it sounded like a car was on my rear end. So I looked back a couple times. It was a lot of rain. I couldn't see that well. And I was asking myself, why is this car so close to me? But I come to realize after a few seconds that it wasn't a car that was behind me. It was actually my car tire that sounded like a car. You know, I wasn't used to that sound. So it sounds different in the rain, but the performance was amazing. I mean, I absolutely love it. A wide footprint on the rear, a wide footprint on the front. It performed perfectly in the rain. Another question you guys asked me about the tire pressure monitoring on the Goldwing. How does that affect the tire pressure monitoring? I'm here to tell you that it does not affect the tire pressure monitoring whatsoever. The tire pressure monitoring is set to let you know your tires are low at a certain PSIs. The Bridgestone tire that I'm running, the drive guard, it's within the same pressures of a motorcycle tire. So when you mount it on the Goldwing, the tire pressure monitoring doesn't know that it's a car tire. It can't tell the difference between a car tire and a motorcycle tire. So you don't have to worry about your tire pressure monitoring. If you look at my dash, you notice that my tire pressure monitoring light is not on. No problems. I've never had any problems with my tire pressure monitoring. Another question that came up, you guys was asking me about, what about the speedometer? Does it change the speedometer? How does it affect the speed? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've done several tests. I've done my phone app. I've done several tests, and it's absolutely no difference. It may be 1 mile per hour difference, but the thing about a motorcycle in comparison to a car is that a motorcycle gives you indicated speed. It's indicated speed. It's not 100%. That's why you can take a road trip with 3 different types of bikes, and everybody will have 3 different numbers on their speedometer, on their mileage, because motorcycles are not 100% accurate. It'll give you indicated speed. So keep that in mind. So when it comes to the miles per hour, it was absolutely no difference. I'm going to give you guys a test. Right now I'm doing about 58, 59, and I'm going to pull up my app and show you guys. I'm doing about 58, 59. As you guys can see it right on my phone, I just brought it up. I'm showing 58 miles per hour on the phone. I'm showing about 58, 59 on the dash. So when it comes to the mileage, there's no difference. I've even tested it with another biker to see and compared it to their speed to see was there any difference. So when it comes to the miles per hour, no difference. So just keep that in mind. So you guys have tons of questions. One of the biggest questions I got was, what about my insurance company? Would my would the insurance company deny you if you have a car tire on your bike? From all of the questions that I've asked, my agent that I talked to, from what I found out, that I don't know about your insurance company, but an insurance company will not deny your claim just because you have a car tire on your bike. Your tires, as long as they're DOT approved, an insurance company shouldn't deny your claim. And that's one of the biggest debates. Will an insurance company deny your claim? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You ever heard of don't ask, don't tell? If you put a car tire on your motorcycle and you get involved in an accident, are you gonna tell the insurance company, I got a car tire on my bike? Why would you do that? My mother used to say, never give a person a stick to hit you with. So if you go to a car tire, why would you disclose that information if something happened? Never give a person a stick to hit you with. If your insurance company were to deny your claim, if you got into an accident, then I suggest you hire a lawyer. But from what I'm told, from what I've read, from what I've seen, from the people that I talk to, an insurance company is not going to deny your claim just because you got a car tire on your bike, as long as it's DOT approved. As a matter of fact, when you look at most motorcycles, you can't even tell it's a car tire on the bike just looking at it. So how are they going to even know? Let me give you one more example, and I'm going to move on. Let's say you take out an insurance policy, or you've taken out an insurance policy with an insurance company, and they ask you how many miles do you drive a year, and you say, well, I drive 12,000 miles a year. And let's just say over the past couple of years, you've been averaging 15,000 miles a year, and you're still with that same insurance company. Are you going to just disclose to that insurance company that you drive 3,000 miles extra per year than when you first took out the policy? I don't think so. Now, if that insurance company contact you, or they want you to update your policy and they ask that question, yes. But are you going to just volunteer to say, I drive more miles than when I first took out this policy? I don't think so. I don't think the average person would just tell on themselves like that. So I just said all that to say this. Don't worry about things that you shouldn't worry about. Cross certain bridges when you get to it. If your insurance company try to deny your claim, contact a lawyer. But the insurance company doesn't know that you have a car tire on your bike. But let me also say this. If you're so worried about your insurance company denying your claim, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of kickback off of that, don't do it. It's just that simple. If you're that afraid of getting your claim denied, if something were to happen, just don't do it. It's just that simple. I'm not trying to convince you the dark side. I'm just trying to tell you my thoughts, how I feel about it. You do what's best for you and your family. I'm going to do what's best for me and my family. If you're that worried about an insurance company denying you, just don't do it. It's just that simple. If you're worried about cornering, you're worried about riding up on the sidewalls, and you're worried about, don't do it. If you're afraid to swim because you might drown, don't go swimming. It's just that simple. So those are some of the biggest questions I get when it comes to Darkside. And if I've left something out, be sure to put it down in the comment section below, because I can't cover every aspect of the topic.
It's Brother Cowboy out here in the Goldwing room. Now what I got to talk to y'all about today is the dark side. I've been having friends call me and ask me, so how you like that dark side? Well, I'm here to tell you I love it. And like I said before, I ain't never going back. That's right what I said. I ain't never going back. You hear that, Dunlop? I ain't never gonna go back.
Another question came up was about warranty. Does it affect your warranty? Putting a car tire on your motorcycle does not affect your warranty. If your alternator goes out, how could a car tire void your warranty? So no, it's not going to hurt your warranty if your bike is under warranty. So again, if you guys are not sure, if you're uncomfortable and you're just not 100% sure, then just don't do it. Again, I'm not trying to convince anybody out there to Darkside. I'm just giving you my experience. And again, this is just my final thoughts. I can't cover everything. So if I've left something out or some pertinent information that you have, put it down in the comment section below. But I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of feedback on an insurance company, and I wouldn't do it. Well, if you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. I don't do anything that I'm not comfortable with. It doesn't matter what it is. But when it comes to Darksiding, I would say don't knock it until you try it. Because I was guilty myself. I was knocking it, but I never tried it. Now since I've gone Darkside, I love it so much that I actually went out and bought a second car tire and mounted it on my spare rim. And speaking of my spare rim, I like to give a shout out to my boy DeCarlos Creighton out in Kansas City, Missouri, for giving me a spare rim for my Goldwing. He gave it to me. I tried to pay him for it. He said, "No, Chris, I'm giving this to you. I appreciate what you do, my brother. This is for you." And he gave me a spare Goldwing rear rim. And I've bought a second Bridgestone drive guard and mounted it on that rim. So I appreciate you, Carlos Creighton, out there in Kansas City, Missouri. So I love it just that much that now I have two car tires. And if you get out here on a motorcycle tire and you pick up a nail or something, they're not going to patch your tire. They're not going to plug it. They're going to make you buy a whole nother tire. That's one of the reasons why I bought a second car tire. So I have two tires now, just in case one goes out. I have a spare. And I still have a brand new Bridgestone OEM tire that I keep in my trailer. Brand new on the rim. It has a motorcycle tire on it, so I have a spare motorcycle tire on the rim, and I have a spare car tire on the rim. I keep one in my enclosed trailer and one inside my little pull behind trailer. So I absolutely love my car tire. It is so smooth. Pulls just as straight as an arrow. No problems whatsoever. I absolutely love it. I mean, just straight as an arrow. Double dark-sided. So, to be honest with you, I don't ever think I would go back. One of the things about a motorcycle tire back in the day, if you ran into a nail or something, they would plug your tire without a problem. But due to insurance regulations, they went to a patch. Then they end up going to a plug patch. Now, they won't even patch it, plug it. If you buy a brand new set of tires and pull out of the dealership or out of the place where you bought them and you pick up a nail, they're not going to fix that tire. You got to buy a whole nother tire. So you guys may want to keep that in mind. You have to buy a whole nother tire. A motorcycle tire, the Dunlop E4, runs about $220 for one tire. The Bridgestone Drive Guard runs about $120. It's actually about $100 cheaper. Like I said, if you guys are running the Bridgestone OEM tires that come on the Goldwings, those tires ride so smooth they just don't last long. About 10,000 miles is going to get flat in the rear. It's going to get flat on the back. The Dunlop E4s are a little bit, they last a little bit longer. A more sportier tire. You can get about 18,000 miles out of a set of Dunlop E4 tires. As a matter of fact, Dunlop E4 says that you can ride from East Coast to West Coast 6 times on their Dunlop E4s. You can ride East Coast to West Coast 6 times.
Let's put it this way, brother. With a set of Elite 4 tires on your bike, you could cross the country 6 times. It's a lot of stoppies for you.
Yeah, that is a lot of stoppies. And while the Elite 4 is a tire choice for Goldwingers, don't let the wing dingers corner the market.
That's about 18,000 miles. But with my Bridgestone Drive Guard that I have on my bike is a 70,000 mile tire. I calculated that I can drive from East Coast to West Coast 20 times. 20 times. So you think about that. 20 times on a car tire, East Coast to West Coast, or 6 times on a motorcycle tire. And also let me point this out, not to get anybody in trouble, but those guys at Dunlop or Bridgestone would probably not recommend you putting a car tire on your motorcycle. Well, I actually caught the Dunlop man putting a car tire on a Goldwing. I actually caught him. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I hope I don't get him in trouble. Whoever he is, I don't know his name. But I actually caught the Dunlop tire man putting a car tire on a Goldwing.
Like the man sold it, put it on.
Huh?
I like the man sold it, put it on.
That's a good tire.
It's wider though.
You can't get it in?
You can get it in. Might have to let the air out of it.
Yeah. Well, I put mine in. I didn't let the air out.
That's a 195. What she put
195, 55, 16? It'll go in there.
Nah, I ain't gonna hurt my back. That's the last tire this week. I like the ball to put it in.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in his defense, in Dunlop's defense, they did make the owner sign a waiver saying that they would not be responsible. So it was totally on the motorcycle owner. It was not on Dunlop. But Dunlop did install it for him. So my question is, if it was that dangerous, then why would they do it?
All right, he got it. No problem.
He got it. I'm just saying. It's not recommended, but why would they do it? So you may want to keep that in mind. One of the disadvantages to having a car tire is that everybody don't mount them. Everybody don't service them. If you go into the average motorcycle shop, they're not going to put a car tire on your bike. They want you to buy a motorcycle tire because that's what the manufacturers call for. But I'm going to be honest with you. Riding on a car tire was the best move that I made, honestly. The best move that I made. When I tell you guys that it's smooth as butter, look at that. Smooth as butter on a car tire. It was one of the best moves I made, and I just want to put it out there to you guys. My tire size is 195, 55, 16 on the rear. On the front, it's 130, 70, 18. That's a Bridgestone BT45 Battle Axe. Battle Axe BT45, 130, 70, 18 on the front. 195, 55, 16 on the rear. The Bridgestone Drive Guard Run Flat. Get a little warm. So putting a car tire on my motorcycle, for the record, was one of the best things I've ever done. To be honest with you, I don't think I would ever go back to putting a motorcycle tire on my Goldwing. Now, everybody shouldn't Darkside. You don't ride a lot of miles, you're a weekend warrior, no need to Darkside. But if you pull a heavy trailer, you ride a lot of miles, the Goldwing is heavy, you're the perfect candidate for Darksiding. So I'm out here with JC today. We are both double dark-sided.
We're breaking every rule in the book, Chris.
We're breaking every rule in the book. You gonna crash and burn, JC.
Oh, hell!
For running car tires on your bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, it's just as smooth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I haven't had a bike tire in, I guess it's been 8 years now.
Right.
And like I said, if they had fixed that flat, I never would have bought a car tire. I would have never learned.
Right.
So, you know.
And the thing about it, you know, like I said, if you have a flat on your motorcycle tire, their solution is, oh, you got to buy a new tire.
Right.
Well, what if you just bought that tire 2 weeks ago?
They told me if you buy a tire and you go out the car, if you leave out of our shop and have a flat, all we can do is sell you another brand new.
And I just appreciate my man JC for turning me on to the dark side. Also, let me say this. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not claiming to know it all. They've been dark-siding before I was born. They've been dark-siding back in the 70s. So this is not something that just came out. This is not something that Caliente came up with. They've been dark-siding before I was born. Do your research. This is not something that I came up with. But I'm going to be honest with you. Putting a car tire on my bike was the best move that I made. If you feel like putting a car tire on your bike is a liability, don't do it. But I say don't knock it until you try it. And you guys, you know I ride a lot of miles with the first lady on the back. She absolutely loved it. She said it's a lot more smoother than the motorcycle tire. And I can tell the difference. She said it's a lot smoother. She loves the car tire. So I just want to put that out there for you guys. So again, I just want to thank all of my viewers and subscribers out there that's watching my video. All of my followers that have been following me since the beginning. I thank each and every one of you for you guys that like my videos. I even thank the guys that down my videos. Obviously, you like them because you constantly hit that thumbs down. So why are you watching if you don't like them? So obviously you like my videos, but I appreciate you as well. So congratulations to me once again for putting out over 700 YouTube videos. 700. Almost 8,000 subscribers. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm sure I left something out. If you guys can think of anything that may help someone, put it down in the comment section below. Remember, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to sign up for the Chris Caliente Goldwing group on Facebook. The Chris Caliente Goldwing group on Facebook, the hottest Facebook page in the land. Well, anyway, this is your boy Chris out on the Goldwing. Out on the Goldwing, the most luxurious motorcycle in the world. The Honda Goldwing GL 1800, hands down. It is, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I will, as always, I will talk to you guys later. See you. The only way that I would switch from Darkside and go back to putting a motorcycle tire on my Goldwing is if Dunlop or Bridgestone or the other motorcycle tire manufacturers come up with a tire that will last just as long as a car tire. Until then, I'm dark-sided. And that's all I got to say about that.
I ain't never going back. That's right what I said. I ain't never going back.